All I have in this world is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. Do you understand?
Rightio, Legends, Chaos Chronicles, and we're back again with another video. And today we're answering questions. But as always, before I start answering questions, can you please, if you guys are loving my content, jump down there, shoot me a subscription. If you haven't already done that, tap that bell icon. You'll never miss any of my videos again. And yeah, so I've also started making these hoodies here. And if I get a big enough demand, I will start making them if people want them. They've actually got a big Chaos Chronicles on the back too. But yeah, anyway, moving on. So the question today is, and I think it's an absolute cracker and I'm going to answer it. So, Biff, could you please do a video on what and why you straightened out? So many people get involved in that shit life and can't manage to get out. All right, well, let's get into it. So I guess you know what I'll start by saying. There's a number of reasons why I got out of that life. But what I will start off by saying is the number one reason why I got out of that life is because my children were getting older. At this stage, I had only my teenage boys. I had three of them, and yeah, they were starting to idolize what I did and kind of idolize the life that I lived and you know in ways started to replicate that. And for me it was pretty frightening, and so it was frightening when my kids started getting in trouble, and it kind of just seemed like Groundhog Day to me. And I just thought, you know, I don't want my kids to follow down the same path as I did and, you know, spend most of their adult life in prison. It's no life, but even just a life of crime and, you know, always in and out of trouble with the police. I just didn't want my kids to follow that. And like, so yeah, I guess, you know, I just like mainly wanted to be a role model that my kids could look up to for the right reasons instead of for something that's, you know, such a bullshit life. And you know, all the stuff on the outside, what glitters is not the same as what's on the inside. You know, it's just such a dark, putrid life. And so I'm talking about a life of crime, by the way. And so, you know, I've made mention of this in other videos, and so, you know, I give it a pretty red hot crack for, you know, 25 years straight of, you know, trying to beat the law, and at every single angle, I just seemed to be getting bet. And although, yeah, you know, it's, you know, probably alleged that I did get away with it, some things and stuff, but you know, I still went down for a lot. And yeah, I just think that all the missing time, like one of the only regrets I have in my life is that my children had to miss out on, you know, all of them, 3/4 of their lives without their dad being there when I should have been there. And so, yeah, I guess, you know, I was, when I was younger and I was like, I was doing all this to try and, you know, committing all these crimes and doing what I did to try and put food on the plate for my children. And, you know, all the bullshit that I went through, I should have just got a 9 to 5 job and would have spent all my children's childhood with them and not feeling like a lowy like I do. And, you know, I can't take back the past, but I can, you know, try and help the future. But I guess, yeah, that's one of the main reasons. Another reason is that today's like 2025 criminals, and it's been this way for a few years, is not the same as what it used to be 20 years ago. So, you know, the old adage of honor amongst thieves and stuff like that, all that fucking bullshit's out the window. You know, everyone's snitching everyone, everyone's, making statements on everyone, and everyone's telling bullshit lies about everyone to get time off their own sentence. And, people are snitching over the smallest things. Whereas 20 years ago, you would get blokes that would rather do 20 years jail, prison, whatever you call it, than to snitch. And so this is what it was like. And it's just like everything has changed. Like the whole, and if you ask me what was that changed it, it was methamphetamine. That's the exact reason. Like it absolutely ruined the whole like criminal world, if you ask me, and beyond the criminal world too. But absolutely, like, but not only that, like, you know, this might sound crazy, but there was a time when I actually like I didn't mind that I went to prison. Like going to prison didn't bother me at all. You know, I still got to earn in prison. The only thing that most people don't get in prison is, a girlfriend, or if you're a female, a boyfriend. Do you know what I mean? But even still, some people still manage to get girlfriends that, you know, may or may not work for the prison or whatnot while they're doing their prison sentence. But yeah, just the whole prison has changed. And like, the rules that there used to be like a hierarchy and rules. And like I'm a little bit robotic and I don't mind a little bit of rules and stuff. And I think all them old school rules is kind of what I was brought up by. And I just think that they all went out the window when people started getting involved with the ice, and people started losing their morals and their dignity, and just didn't care anymore. And people are snitching over 3 month sentences over not having to do 3 month sentence, like literally, lagging on blokes, making blokes do 10 years so they don't do 3 months. And like, so you just don't know who you can trust anymore. And that was like another big, big, big factor as well. Like, and one of the biggest is because like, I felt like out of every single person that I used to like do like that life with, I feel like 6 out of 10 of them ended up being pieces of shit, no good, snitches, trying to sleep with your missus while you're in jail, take all your shit while you're in jail. And like, yeah, I guess I just got to a point where I was like, yeah, it's just not worth it anymore. And to be honest, like when I look back, like the money that I was making, and yeah, like of course I made good money at times, but like for the amount of prison time that I did, like there's not even a comparison. Like I wouldn't even like yeah, like it's just crazy that like I did all that prison time for like basically if I had have got a 9 to 5 job, I could have got all that stuff. The great Australian way. I could have got loans and worked and saved up and done all that bullshit. And yeah, so I just look back and think that like, yeah, it was just like a waste. I look back and think like, what a fucking waste, and what a waste more so for my children, and that's the biggest thing. But the second thing that I just said was one of the biggest reasons as well. And like, I guess that I was kind of somewhat not somewhat I was definitely institutionalized, and so like prison was just a part of that life. And so, like, I just didn't care that that's the way I lived. But when the whole meth epidemic happened, and like, so I was doing my big 9 year sentence when the big meth epidemic started. So I got locked up 2010, got out 2019. So, but anyway, like that's when it first really, really started. And like I just seen like people, the thing that blew me away was people that when I first started coming to prison, people that I actually looked up to and thought were staunch, solid crooks were just, you know, shadows of themselves. And like, they were just all cooked and like, could hardly even put a sentence together, let alone put their hands together or, put anything together. And like, yeah, I just lost all faith in that life, I guess. And I guess, it kind of all started, yeah, while I was in my last sentence. I just said, like, I was just having a look around and just said, like, I have had enough of this fucking bullshit. And so, yeah, I just started to put things into place. And so, I guess I knew I had big work ahead of me. So, I automatically just cut out 99% of my friend group. Like, boom, see you later. I don't need yous anymore. If yous haven't got any positive like impact on my life, I don't want anything to do with you, and if you think what I'm doing with my life now is negative to your life, well, then I don't want anything to do with you anyway. So, first of all, I distanced myself from all that, and moved away from, that kind of friend group, which allowed me to step away from the drugs, which made it a lot easier. All the times before I tried to step away from drugs was just so hard because, like, I just had so much love and respect for my friends that were still in that life, and like just seemed like it was always in front of me anyway, and I was just never able to get like away from it. And so, and I guess another thing as well is, like, I believed in myself as well. So you've got to believe yourself that you can do it. So I seen that other people had done what I wanted to do, and I knew that it could happen. So it wasn't like it was that far in the distance that it was impossible. And I just had faith in myself, and but also that the number one thing what everyone needs if you want to change your life is you've got to have support. Like, it's not about just having a friend group, it's about having people that are willing to stand by you while you go through hell to get off whatever poison you take. You know what I mean? And to find them people. And sometimes by this stage, when you've been in that life for so fucking long, your family have said goodbye so long ago that they're not even in the picture to help you anymore. You know what I mean? So it's really hard for some people, but you really have to find something. You need some kind of support groups. There are help groups out there that definitely will help people. So all you have to do is jump into Google, and, like, if you don't have that support group, there are support groups out there that will help you. And so it's not like everything is impossible. And I guess, but the number one thing is you've got to want it, and you've got to want to change. It's not got to be what your missus wants you to do, what your mum wants you to do, what your kids want you to do, whatever. It's got to be what you want to do yourself for whatever reasons. And until you believe yourself that you want to change, you're never going to fucking change. And that's the absolute truth of it. And yeah, I guess that's what I did, and here I am today. And, like, I still have obstacles. Do you know what I mean? Like, an addict's always going to be an addict, and so I guess, it's not like I don't go through these daily stresses. Like, I do, although, you know, 4 years plus clear from that life, I am a lot better off today than I was 3 years ago. But I just knew that there was light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? And, once again, I'm not saying I'm a preacher. I'm definitely not a preacher. I always say I'm not a preacher. I'm a prime example. So, if you do exactly the opposite of what I did when I was a dickhead, which is basically live a normal 9 to 5 life, do the family thing, you know what I mean? You might have some side hustles on the go, but don't get fully entrenched in that bullshit life. Like, seriously, the criminal life, it's almost impossible to be a criminal now too. Like, every single person you walk past in the street's got a camera in their hand on their phone. Every single car you drive past, well, at least every second car you drive past has got a camera in it. Every shop you walk past has got a camera in it. It's just almost impossible to be a criminal with all that. And then how freely people snitch these days, like, it's just not worth it. And that life is absolutely fucking not worth it. And so, sometimes I would make videos and I would say, put the bag down and pick your kids up. And so that's a good thing. You know what I mean? So, like, next time you think about you're about to go do something stupid, just go and pick your kids up and go take them down the park or something like that. pick up the Xbox with your kids, play a game with your kids, something. Trust me, anything at home is much more wholesome than anything out there doing crime that's just going to take you away from your family in the end anyway. But yeah, there you go, mate. I hope I answered that good enough for you. So that was HLSAB who asked me that. So thank you for that. And yeah, if you guys have got any questions that you'd like me to answer with a video, chuck it down there in this comment section here and I'll do my best to do that. And so someone made a comment in my last video that am I double dipping because I had posted that video that I posted last before. And so if you guys do remember, I did make a video saying that I was going to post all my videos from the start that are all under 1,000 views anyway, and but they were all filmed on a phone. And so anyway, I just said that I was going to make the better ones again, and so that's why I was doing that. So no, I'm not double dipping, just not that I have to explain myself, but that's what's going on there anyway. But yeah, if you guys are loving my content, yeah, jump down there and shoot me a subscription. That'd be absolutely fantabulous. And if you tap that bell icon, you'll never miss any of my videos again. All right, guys, I've been the Cast Chronicles. We out.